Another day, another attack on mosques in the UK. Just another day in school for a Muslim kid to face racial and religious slurs. The UK has seen a rise in Islamophobia in recent years like never before. But even after spreading so much hate and propaganda against Islam in the UK, there are still many who choose to respect the religion and not get swayed by mass opinions. This week, while parts of Britain were gripped by a fresh wave of anti-Muslim rhetoric and street tension, one man quietly took off his shoes. No cameras were begged for. No statement was drafted for controversy. King Charles III simply walked into Cambridge Central Mosque, Europe's first eco-mosque, in his socks, out of respect for the sanctity of the prayer hall. It was a small gesture, and it said everything. On Monday, the King visited Cambridge Central Mosque, a building celebrated not just for its architecture, but also for its message: solar panels, natural light, and water conservation. A mosque built in an eco-friendly manner, showing how even Muslim prayer halls won't harm nature. The mosque's own description calls it a building whose emphasis on sustainability and reliance on green energy make it Europe's first eco-mosque. The King removed his shoes before entering the prayer hall and walked through in his grey knitted socks, a rare public sight since he's usually seen in his smart leather footwear. He joked warmly with schoolchildren present, saying he hoped he hadn't ruined the holidays too much by dragging you in here. Later, he unveiled a plaque marking Cambridge's 75th anniversary as a city and was presented with a book about the mosque. He told those gathered he was impressed by the design and the care put into building a purpose-built mosque with a community centre attached, adding that it makes a giant contribution not just to the Muslim community, but to Cambridge itself. Notably, these events all happened on the very same day the King accepted Sir Keir Starmer's resignation and invited Andy Burnham to form a new government, a day of major political weight for the country. And still, he made time to sit with the Muslim community, to listen and to honour their space. Now here is one thing worth noticing. What King Charles did was certainly ordinary, but it became exceptional because he broke the royal protocol of never removing shoes out of respect for the mosque. Before speaking to the audience, Charles unveiled a plaque at the mosque and said, "If I may say so, I'm so impressed by the quality of the design, by all the care and attention that has been lavished on it, and by the fact you have a purpose-built mosque here with the community centre attached." The way King Charles paid respect to the mosque and the Muslim community was indeed commendable. Here's the thing about respect. Real respect, not performative respect. You can tell who has it by what they do when no one is demanding it of them. The King wasn't required to remove his shoes. He wasn't required to sit with worshippers, joke with children, or accept a book about a community centre. He chose to. Because for him, walking into someone else's sacred space means honouring the rules of that space, not bending it to your comfort. That is what a decent human being looks like. Not loud, not performative, just quietly consistent. And it stands in sharp, almost uncomfortable contrast to what's happening on Britain's streets right now, where a resurgence of anti-Muslim sentiment has been stoked, amplified and monetized by people who have built entire platforms out of painting an entire faith as a threat. Figures like Tommy Robinson and Laura Loomer have spent years pushing the narrative that Islam itself is something to be feared, not a specific act, not a specific individual, but the faith of over 1 billion people worldwide. They don't distinguish between extremism and ordinary belief. They reduce an entire religion to a caricature and then profit from the outrage directed at that caricature. That's not activism. That's not free speech in a constructive manner, Faith. That is the deliberate manufacturing of fear for attention and influence. And here's the irony they can't escape. The more they scream that Muslims are dangerous, the more danger they generate. Through the hostility they stir up, the harassment they normalize, and the division they profit from. The very thing they claim to be warning the world about, they become. People don't want to change their paths if they spot a Muslim walking on them, but they definitely want to change them if people like Tommy Robinson and Laura Loomer were walking on them. Right now, the streets of the UK don't become chaotic when Muslims walk by, but when Tommy Robinson takes out his rally, this is when the calm atmosphere of the UK becomes tense. Respecting a religion, any religion, doesn't mean agreeing with every theological detail. It means recognizing the dignity of the people who hold it close to their hearts. It means understanding that walking into someone's mosque, temple, or church with humility costs you nothing, and it says everything about your character. King Charles didn't need a headline, he needed to be human. And in a week where Islamophobia was loud, visible, and aggressive across parts of this country, his silence, his socks on a prayer hall floor, spoke louder than any of it. May Allah protect the Muslims all over the world from attacks and discrimination. Ameen.